when I was a boy, everybody knew what a downwinder was. We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist. And it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Bloomgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Bloomgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen.
Well, it's early here in California. Right here, I'm getting out of my dogma snuggie. What a freaking gig this has been. Wow. Talk about intense yesterday. Oh, do I have a lot to talk about on this show today, and not much of it is good. First off, I will say this, and I know San Francisco. I know every square inch. I've always have. I covered the entire, all of it. It's a very small peninsula. And, you know, I got blisters on the bottom of my feet, and, you know, the small group of activists that was hanging with me on the beach and everything, you know, they can't hang with me. They'll say, my God, I've never seen anything like it. You know, you go for freaking hours, you get up and go again for hours. They can't hang. You know, I'm out in the sun, and so they had to scamper on their ways home. So on my own, it's pretty outrageous. I mean, it's incredible activism that I've done. I am so on my own on this gig. I'm blown away. The place that people should just flock to me here is the place they show up the least. 5 people on the beach. Yesterday, by myself. Wow, I stirred up a lot of shit yesterday. I'm much more than, you know, just the environmentalists. I spent a lot of time at the Federal Reserve yesterday. I can really get into that. We'll talk about that day economically. San Francisco is nothing more than a cultural theme park for Europeans. It's worse than Manhattan. And we're going to dive into this today on the weak dollar and why the weak dollar will never correct and how the weak dollar is crushing. You know, I got in a big argument at the University of San Francisco yesterday with a so-called economist who's a fucking moron. I'm like, really? Well, it's a much better, you know, down on the pier water. And I says, I don't think it's much better. It's quirky. It's goofy. It's everyone serving coffee. Literally here. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And we're talking San Francisco. This is the radical place. This is the authentic place. It's the unauthentic. The anti-corporate city of America is the corporate city of America. It is grotesque. It is sickening. I walked yesterday. Oh, I had to log 20 miles, more than that yesterday, much more than that. I'm everywhere. I'm like, I need some fresh juice. There's no fresh juice, none. I grew, you know, spending so much of my life spent here. On the train from Ogden to here. And just, you know, my daughter was living off a block of Haight-Ashbury not very long ago, decade ago, you know. Fresh fruit on every street corner. Fruit vendors on every... There's no fresh fruit here. There's no juice here. I'm serious. There's no juice bars here. None. Every single building is a restaurant, a bar, or a coffee house. Every single square inch of it. It's quirky. It's goofy. I mean, it makes Disneyland look authentic. It's disgusting. I mean, the first place I could find even a vegetarian taco, which this place used to be famous for them. The Mexicans ain't even here, ain't in the city. The authentic, there ain't nothing here. You know, coffee servers. The first place I could find a Mexican vegetarian, authentic one, a good one, well, there nowhere, was in Chinatown. The only juice bar I found was in Chinatown, and it was closed. Order up. The only authentic clothing, I found one place that sells American-made clothing in Chinatown. And I'm not kidding. I'm in the financial district. The only place I found any fresh produce at all, you know, the only fresh farmers market that was going on, and was some authentic people snuck hid out behind across from the Federal Reserve, right by the Wells Fargo corporate whores headquarters. Oh, the oligarchs know they need to be eaten. I mean, it blows my mind the lack. People don't give a shit. I mean, I talk to everybody down here. I mean, you know me. That's what I do. When I go on these gigs, I'm in the streets, and I walk. I talk to a lot of the homeless. The homeless are being bused out of here to San Diego. They're doing the same thing that New York City does. Now, there's no homeless in New York City. New York City, if there's homeless, they pick them up, and they give them 48 hours to prove they can live, and, you know, what that cost is. But, you know, New York City's, when I show up in New York City, hundreds of people show up. Hundreds. People are activists in New York City. Where they should be the activists, Sam said, oh, yeah, I talked to a woman yesterday. She says, yeah, I can't believe that Fukushima thing. She says, can you believe they put those young people on that boat? I says, you mean the USS Reagan? Yeah, oh. And I'm like, yeah, I was at the hearing all summer last summer. Did you know they had an NFL Little League football camp on it, which Christina Radchick and I reported in detail, hardcore, over and over, and nobody listens to us. We've been reporting this in detail as it unfolds. People don't care. Oh, really? It's just amazing to me how we can go retrospect. Oh, the 9/11 terrorists were funded by HSBC when I was saying that day two after 9/11. I was a derivative trader. I knew there was track. So we're doing this with Fukushima now. They're telling me, I said, what about you? What do you mean? I said, you got more radiation than they got. You've been hammered heavy right here. You live on the bay. Oh, I guess it is a direct line from Japan. Yeah, the wind was blowing out. It hammered San Francisco. And this BS that's out there, and I'm going to really go get after Oregon State today, and I'm going to show you guys how the IAEA operates. This new study, there's finally a marine biology study out. It finally, 3.5 years out, 38 months out. There's a study out, Oregon State. Now, I want this to be very, very, very clear, and I'm going to do some videos today. I'm headed to Berkeley today. Most likely get arrested out there today, and I'm on my own, by the way. Everybody who said they would meet me out there, and everybody said it has all backed out. These activists, they're not activists. I mean, it's so comfortably done down here that the study at Oregon State saying there's trace amounts of Fukushima in the tuna. All the tuna they studied. Now, let's really call this out. Who's Oregon State University? Now, Lonnie Clark's done some brilliant activism over there. I woke her up to it over a year ago. I'm like, Lonnie, do you realize there's a secret reactor at Oregon State? She's, yeah, I know that. And I says, you know that the head of the IAEA, the American lead for the International Atomic Whores that they are, is at Oregon State. It's a woman named Kathleen Higley. She's been propped up since she was a teenager by them. She's the one who writes these articles. She's the machine. We've been to her house. You know, we protested up there intensely. Lonnie, there's video up there. You can look it up. Right outside the parking lot of the football stadium. There's a metal shack right there. That's a secret experimental little reactor at Oregon State University. So this is how they work. This is the machine. This is John Goffman, Poison Power John Goffman at Berkeley, who I knew very well, lived right here in San Francisco, a really incredible activist, amazing man, who didn't die that long ago, who was completely railroaded out of Berkeley when he was that false equivalency, when he really wasn't false in those. They don't even have false equivalency out there now. I mean, they're in lock, stock, barrel, hook, line, sinker here. He said they'll slowly bleed you 10% of the truth. And they know this is the machine at work. Well, let's talk about their study. Now, their study is telling you, I've been walking around screaming my head off from day one, stand tuna, stand tuna, stand tuna. Everything I've said has been so incredible accurate from the beginning. But people don't want the truth. They can't handle the truth. They don't want the fucking truth. They hate guys like me. They won't participate with me. They won't freaking incorporate with me. They won't embed with me. By the way, the only people that I had really intense, great conversations with yesterday were in the financial, and they were oligarchs. And they knew. And they knew, and they were taking precautions. And as one of this woman hedge fund manager, by the way, I talked to some different hedge fund people that I've known in the industry from when I was younger in this industry. And by the way, I'm going back to work on my own little hedge fund. I'm going to open my own little hedge fund, reopen it, my little Blanch Schwartz in an environmental, economically responsible way, because I've got to have money and I've got to raise money, and I've learned along this way. I've gave everybody opportunity for 3 years to participate with me. They don't want to participate with me. That's okay, and that's what she said. She says, Kevin, you've learned over the hard way, like I've known for years. People don't want to help themselves. It's a degenerate nation. I try, she says, my family's very aware of Fukushima. We take precautions. We eat very, very healthy, just like we talk a lot about carrot juice yesterday. I'm like, well, the only fruit, she says, there's only really 2 even fruit, really good juice bars left in the entire city, and they're both right here. So I walked over to them. They close at 3 o'clock. Now, why do they close at 3 o'clock? That's when the markets close here. I mean, the markets close. We're in California. Hello, you New Yorkers. You guys are freaking, it's 11 o'clock. It's 8 in the morning here. It's amazing to me, just like my events. I mean, there's people that can live 3 blocks from where we're at. And by the way, you saw my videos that I did off Ocean Beach, and John jumped in front of me while I'm doing the poetry. I mean, some of these people are so over the top. I participate with a lot of organic, passionate people. We're out there, he's crawling out on the ocean with the baby seas, come on. I mean, I'm an environmentalist. I deal with a lot of personalities. I deal with a lot of things in an organic way. And some people have their passion, and maybe their intentions are right, but their passion is totally out of control. That's the whole thing with post service. That's the whole thing with being an environmentalist, being an activist, being able to be logical and cut these people off at the pass. You can't just run off raw, ignorant emotion. Raw, ignorant emotion is the most dangerous thing in the world. I mean, I saw it when I led the Million Math Man March. I saw the sophisticated, the logical, the intelligent, the intense, the passionate, thus post-ignorance. But I saw some of it, and don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the anarchists. I really do. The old school anarchists, the brilliance, but that's not what they are. These kids were crawling on the fence going crazy, I'm trying to talk to them about, well, okay. Same with Occupy. I'm like, okay. Occupy's got all the energy. By the way, Occupy did a lot of good work in Manhattan. Now here, not a zip. They didn't accomplish one fucking thing. They went backwards here. Out at Oakland, where I'll be, they accomplished a lot out there at the ports. They were great out there, by the way. It's a whole different dynamic in the East Bay than it is here. But even there in the East Bay, because they're caught up in the real estate. The people that are standing by the fire with us, the African-American group that are standing by the fire with us in those videos, are from the East Bay. Really great conversations. Kevin, we understand activism. I mean, everyone's trapped. They're trapped here. They're trapped in paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month in their mortgage. Real estate value is insanity. These people are freaking in the East Bay are working 70 hours a freaking week. It's impossible down here. People making $20 an hour, they don't survive here. Maybe live in a car. I'm serious. It's outrageous. It's $40 a night in the pocket car. Anyway, even at the hotels, you have to pay $40 a night to park a car. A hamburger at Denny's is $20. It's over the top here. There's no fresh produce. None. Not you're talking San Francisco, California. I mean, the fresh produce, there's no juice bars. You remember, for years and years, what I used to love about San Francisco? Every single street corner had a fresh fruit and fresh vegetable stand. And next to it, what was next to it? Fresh flowers. It was famous for it. Not one single fresh flower stand. Not one. Not one. Every third building at Starbucks? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hundreds of coffee shops. Now, let's think of it says, oh, well, it's better. No, let's talk about if it's better. Let's talk, yeah, for the 1%, the oligarchs, fuck yeah, it's better. Let's get real about this. Let's get real about the so-called 99%. Let's be real. Let's talk about the facts of the economy, the facts of the environment. Fact. From 1980 to present, declining nominal wages every single year. Fact. The euro against the dollar. I'm standing in Manhattan at the EU hearing. When I was a derivative arbitrage specialist at Wall Street, by the way, I worked on the Pacific Exchange right here in San Francisco. I was on the CBE in Chicago. We would rotate. I was very good at what I did. Very good. I was an incredible finance professor at the #1 finance school, by the way, which is the same family that built MoMA. The MoMA, for all you guys right now, is under construction, 2-year renovation. I used to have to break down every single currency. I'd have to break them down. It was incredible work. Every European, when they put the euro together, and by the way, I can really dive into why the euro, and it has very little to do with economics, but it ended up as a byproduct being the most brilliant move Europe ever did because of our ignorant, fucked up Federal Reserve. And really, I was writing a book about the Federal Reserve all the way back to Hamilton from day one. As you guys will say, oh, the Federal Reserve was created in 1950. Yeah, maybe the word Federal Reserve. The central bank is the very first thing this country did. Well, second thing. First thing was set up the United States Marines and Coast Guard to collect tariffs and duties from the East India Company coming into the port of New York, Alexander Hamilton. So I would break down every single currency. It was brutal work. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take out so much of my work. I have one currency. He stands there. We're sitting right there. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting there in Manhattan. This is the president of the new euro. The new euro is going to exchange. We really, our goal, we hope someday to have the euro trading equivalent to the dollar. I think it opened at 75 cents. So, post-World War II, the wars desecrated freaking Europe, annihilated Europe. The United States got very strong, very healthy, the greatest socialists in the history of mankind. I used to ask this question in my class. Name me the greatest socialist in the history of mankind. Not what you want to create socialism, communism, not what you want to create in your mind. In reality, this is what I taught. In #1 school, I'm being the number one state finance won't be before I even had an MBA. Professors were killed by environmental poisoning. I had to step in and do this, and I did this out of goodwill. And the university, I said, where are you going? Oh, which I picked one who's not even worthless, pathetic. We're heading to China. For what? A couple of friends. Well, what are you doing in Shanghai? Where are you going, Kevin? I'm going to protest at fucking Berkeley and San Francisco and try to save you fuckers' lives. Because you refuse to save yourselves. The thrashing of the euro. When did it happen? 2003, 2006. They'll tell you the CPI and the PPI rose at 3.1, 3.2% in those years. When in reality it rose at 20%. Great economists weight wealth. That's what I did. My Coach Ignorance book, I have a weighted wealth matrix that I had developed and built for years. I weighed everything. Great economists for years used to weight against gold. Now, gold made a hell of a move, but not in the last several years it didn't. Most economists switch that weighting matrix to oil. I use a dynamic matrix where I use oil, real estate, gold. That 5 components to it. It's really sophisticated. And that's what I was up to before I got cancer. Before Fukushima changed my world. Actually, what really changed my world was BP. I was at the university working on my PhD, post-ignorance, going on with my camera, trying to say, hey, what really is systemically the problem? Americans really this fucking pathetic, and why? So, 2,000 interviews with my camera, 2,000, broken down to 5 demographics, which I continually do it as I go around. I have thousands of videos none of you have ever seen. They'll go up because they're subject matter that, my genre where I scream, rant, and rave, and get intense about Fukushima is very, very real, very, very important, very dynamic. The other ones, you're not going to watch them. They're pretty calm, cool, and collected and dry like I am. But I'm not dry. But I can be very calm, cool, and collected in a very, very professor-type style and a very even manner. But Fukushima and the environment is not it's acute, like my cancer was acute in my body. So I go off like I should. I look back on it, I've done it exactly right. Have I survived the disease? It looks like I have, which is beyond a miracle. The whole story of me ranting and raving, being an environmentalist my whole life, an anti-nuclear my whole life, with a financial background, with an artistic background, all these things, and me carry on like this and have this YouTube site go on, and then me get AML de novo leukemia, and be able to watch it in real time. And for me to spit out the other end and be alive, it's beyond a miracle. It's an unbelievable story. Know this, it wiped me out financially. I had money. Self-made money. I started plastering at 15 years old, 16 years old. For the old time, I would hitchhike to work. I lived out in the boonies. We're talking 5 in the morning. Sleep on the scaffold sometimes. Hardcore plaster, scars up and down my body. I was a self-made person. Never inherited one dime from anyone, ever. Hard worker. Extremely hard worker. Grew up on a ranch out by the lake with a drill sergeant father. You don't think I knew how? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The gyro goes from 75 cents to $1.60 in 3 years. You can draw a line exactly when we made Iraq. The Bush cartel, which he did not win, Alito and Roberts Place, and I can go on this time, and this has nothing to do with political, ideological bullshit. That's just documented history. You can deny documented history like you're denying Fukushima, you here in the Bay Area. By the way, all over the buses. Now, they're taking the trolleys and the streetcars here, and the retro ones from way back, and they've redone them. They're magnificent, by the way, through the streets of San Francisco. But the buses have the Lymphoma Leukemia Foundation logo on it, by the way, which I am involved with, which Peter Gill and Eric Lax, who are scumbag weasels who have a PR machine in L.A. You ever seen that green drawing of the green nuclear reactors with the butterflies flying out? That's their PR machine. Again, that's how they operate. Wes Tan at top of UCL Medical Center, he's should be tied up and hung and skinned to life. He's worked for the machine telling you that leukemia does not, he's a beyond evil. But the one thing they did do is they started that foundation. And the pill did get developed and come up with, that was juvenile leukemia, which was an evil killer in this country. All from post the open air test in Nevada, 350 in earnest from about 1955 till clear up to 2000, killed a lot of young people in this country, a lot of children. They come up with, it's a pill. They go through the chemo with it. I think it's a 98% cure rate on that, from that foundation, from that pill. So that's the night walk, that's them. That's them. It's a very big deal. So that money and that research does work in certain things. Now, AML like I have, they haven't gotten near anything because, come on, let's get real. It's cancer of the bone marrow, the core of humanity, the core of life. That's bone marrow transplants. I'm the first guy to have de novo without a bone marrow transplant. So we go into the thesis of the dollar. So the dollar gets thrashed via the Fed. Now, the Fed was hijacked. Now, I was over there all day yesterday. I did a lot of stuff. I've got a book all done on the San Francisco Fed. I had it done before I got sick. I have to change all the thing and try to encapsulate this whole thing into a novel, because it is so compelling. As I met with a publicist in New York, and they want my story, they want it, but I'm going to play ball with the modern day publicists. Publish it yourself. Well, we know how that fucking works. You publish yourself, these fucking sick fuckers will watch my videos and just steal whatever they can get out of my brain and try to regurgitate it. There's nothing authentic. I mean, I prove it. I'm down here. People won't participate. I'm alone, by myself. I'm activism by myself, which is fucking pretty heartbreaking. But that's okay. That's okay. I can fucking do it. I have big shoulders. I don't need money to survive. I grew up on the landscape. I understand the purity of life. I understand that walking and seeing. When I go to cities, I don't want no fucking car. It's the last thing I want. You slow down. You walk. You get to know the landscape. You're through the community. That's the only way. You're in a car, it moves by. You don't even see. You can't see anything. The car destroys you. The walking, you can see, you communicate. I talk to everybody. And, 90% of people will have conversations with you. Even though they don't like you, they don't want to hear what you fucking got to say, but, we talk. So the dollar's thrashed, goes to $1.60. All the so-called Obama haters come out, which I'm very much dislike Barack Obama. I call him Uncle Tom Obama, but not from the economic thesis. The dollar stayed right there. Has he done anything to fix it? What's he going to do? You got fucking a gridlock Congress. Congress makes law in this country. And, Harry Truman's famous whistle stop thing. You want to voting for this do-nothing Congress? You want them? You want them? Fucking have them. He used to say it just like that. Fucking have them. Have them. Oh, we love it. We got a Congress, 3 Congresses in a row now, that are breaking the all-time records of Congress for doing nothing. My PhD, walking around before BP happens. First question. Everybody seems to be politically motivated, and a 10-second soundbite. Thus, I named it Post-Ignorance. Boy, did I name it right. What is your opinion of Congress? 2,000 interviews. Broke it down to professors, grad students, undergrad students, working class, homeless. Well over 2,000 interviews. The first documented group was 2,000. What's your opinion of Congress? We hate them, we hate them, we hate them. 2,000 for 2,000. Second question. Who's your congressman or woman? 94 people knew. Now, is that ignorance an epidemic? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like cancer. Cancer's not a pandemic. Cancer's an epidemic. 85% of females under the age of 40 can expect cancer in their lives. Oh, we'll just get a cure. We'll smoke some weed. We'll freaking have some apricot seeds. People die a day of cancer in this country. It's the cancer death freaking country of the world, bar none, nuclearism, autism of the world, nuclearism, MS, nuclearism, eugenics, Cal Berkeley, John Holden, look him up. It's outrageous, and no one seems to care. Sit in my house, lock the doors, and smoke some fucking weed on my keyboard. Go for it. Not me. Life is for the living. The euro right now, $1.38. It got back down to $1.25, which we started to get some health here a little while ago. 1990s, the Goldilocks economy, which was the byproduct of the Volcker Fed. As we took our classical medicine, he raised that rate to 16, 17. He wasn't about to let fucking inflation happen. Created the greatest prosperity, the technology boom. Technology boom in the 1990s was broad, it was wide. Lots of people participating, especially Novell worked perfect. I made all of it in Utah, so much in Utah. I can really dive in. I write a lot about that. It's here. No, it's not here. You think it's here. No, it's not here. It's not. Silicon Valley? Silicon Valley's in China. Everything's in China. All that's here is serving coffee to Europeans. Now, you're in Europe. You're like, what? How much do I get for my $100 if I go to the United States? Wow. That's a huge return. So they came here. Post-World War II, they're thrashed. So let's really think about this. the cultural Western Europe dynamic of the world for 2,000 years. Western Europe. The last meaningful art that came out of Western Europe pre-World War II. Really. Picasso. Dolly was doing some good work, but that whore that he was married to made him sign blank canvas. Don't ever buy a Salvador Dali, by the way. They're all fakes. That Russian who got a hold of him just like this racist fucker in the LA Clippers, this, little whore that he's got, and these girls will whore themselves out like, come on. What an insult to a prostitute. What an insult to, it's so grotesque. Sleeping with a racist old man like that for money. It's like Clyde Bundy. You guys participate. He's Warren Jeff's buddies. They hold down a little girl. The other woman, why he rapes her. These Texas put that fucker in prison. But that's the people you fucking support. It's so outrageous. It's so over the top. So, Europe, after the war, is desecrated economically. Our dollar is a powerhouse. It is the greatest middle class in world history. The United States of America, 1945 to 1970, the greatest middle class in human history, bar none. Tax rate on the wealthy, 91%. Offshores, forget about it. Try that. Park your money like Apple offshores. Apple's going to split their stock 7 for 1. They'll have 6.8 billion shares outstanding. They're already the biggest company in the world. Look at the money they're making because we do not force antitrust laws. What's an antitrust law, huh? Oh, no, it's a free market. What happens in a pure free market, pure capitalistic society? It's not capitalism. It turns into feudalism. It's the Queen's Honor, which we had the Revolutionary War to fight back against that. Why the fuck can't any of you fuckers see that? Will free markets really let them tap Old Faithful? Oh, we're going to put a tax on fucking trading. Do you trade? Yeah, you will fucking go back. We had this conversation yesterday. Because you think about it. It was all set to go. Elizabeth Warren, which, by the way, I like Elizabeth Warren a lot. I really like her. I stood next to her in a lecture before her and I did together. She's a brilliant professor. She did it. We're going to put a tax on trading. Yet, the far-right neocon Operation Foxconn, none of you guys have ever put a fucking stock or an equity in their fucking lives, are the ones that blocked it. Why? So you can pay the fucking taxes? So they don't. So you just give yourself away. Give yourself away. It's fucking, oh God, Global Norquist told me. Okay. Operation Foxconn spoon-fed me like the fucking faking goats that you fuckers, not you guys, my audience is dynamic. My audience is my post-ignorance army. Which we see how small my army is. But every great thing that ever accomplished Margaret Meads was tiny, very few people believe. It's almost, I go on this rant the last couple of days about the fewer the better. I'm over to that point, the fewer the fucking better. John Steinbeck. The dollar's thrashed, so Europe has nothing. Because why? They create an economy that caters to Americans. Restaurants sitting in Milan, going over there shopping, buying Italian shoes, whatever, because our dollar's so strong. We have money. Americans have disposable income. They're working 40 hours a week. They have money. They have time to travel. They have time to read books. And they want to see that beautiful, magnificent fucking culture they've read about. And rightfully so. But what it creates is economy that is quirky. It is stale. Nothing authentic. Nothing organic. It's regurgitation. Now you think about San Francisco, 150 years old. Already a cultural theme park. So nothing evolved out of Europe, nothing, because all they've done is served American coffee for all those years. There ain't no innovation, no ideas or anything, because they were trash and they fell for the service-based economy. They fell for serving fucking Americans fucking coffee and standing in lines to see their museums and their art. They fell for it. That became their economy. That's what America is now. So America, and I travel a lot. Manhattan is nothing but a cultural theme park. It's a shopping mall. Lower Soho down there is a shopping mall for Europeans. That's all that's there because of the weak dollar. So everybody's serving coffee. And by the way, the fashion district in here, there's no fashion district left here. The fashion district in New York, even the high-end designers, that's why Luann killed herself, who I grew up with, my beautiful friend. we grew up out on the landscape with her. Yeah, McJagger's girl, I grew up with her out on the landscape. But that's why her art was fucking taken because she didn't want fucking sign a contract with Target or Walmart or what. That's what it is. So now that's what we are. So San Francisco, the authentic place, the radical place, the sexy place, the bohemian place, the, ideas place, the intellectual poets, the intellectual art. And these people that think they're fucking artists here, now there ain't no fucking artists in California. None. Oh, they may be in the fucking, you think the club in Manhattan, you gotta see the fucking club here. Oh, so-and-so's nephew saying he's an artist, let's buy his stuff. Anybody who's invested in fucking art in the United States in the last 30, 40 years, good luck you with that return on investment. Good luck. Worthless. Worthless. That's what we are. A service, and not even a survey. So and that's all it is here. San Francisco's worse than Manhattan. Buses, and just buses are lined up. I'm standing out here on Fisherman Wharf right now. Just buses and buses and buses. The open air buses, and they just tore through, and ride around. There's nobody, and that's all it's here. Every single building is a coffee shop. I mean, a bar. There are fucking thousands and thousands of bars. Thousands of bars. Restaurants. That's all it is here. That's it. For the Europeans when they come. Now there's Newport. I'm down on Pier 39, which used to be downright fucking dangerous down there under the bridge. I was down there last night, snooping around. There's a giant new port being built, the same as they build in Santa Barbara, California, for the, cruise liners. Giant cruise liners to be able to come in. Now let's talk about that. What do the cruise liners do? What have they done in Santa Barbara? And this is right from the horse's mouth. They dump their waste in the bay. Human waste. Now, let's think, that's organic, huh? Just like cow shit out by my house, these corporate welfare funds, it's organic. No, it's not organic. You know what? These four-legged mammals, they're feeding them, milking them 4 times a day. Well, you two-legged bear dragon, the average American, 5, 6 prescription meds? The dope dealers in San Francisco, all over? Yeah, they're still all over. They're called drive-in pharmacies at Walgreens. In your town, walk over to. That's where the dope dealers are. You drive up in your fucking car, and Dr. Sam, there's more dope dealers in America than there's ever been. But it's Pfizer. By the way, Pfizer has $70 billion parked in offshores. By the way, was against the law, Glass-Steagall, who I got some great pictures and can dive into Glass-Steagall at the San Francisco Fed yesterday. And I was inside the San Francisco Fed, and you should have seen those fucking security pricks. You can only go so this far. Why? Why the fuck can't I video? Here's the law. I'm ready when I go on my activism. I know the laws. I have to read the laws to them. No, you're wrong. Here's the law. I can videotape as long as I'm not past this line. I can even videotape inside there. Same with Livermore. Same with Berkeley, as I've already had it out with Berkeley. Already been having it out with them. I've been trying to fucking organize so see what I can protest out there and what I cannot. They tell me I can't do shit, I can't do this. So I have to dive into law. I can't get attorneys to stand behind me. Greenpeace completely co-opted. Fucking Sierra Club completely co-opted. All these great activists who came from this area. Stegman was one of my professors. Stanford, fuck. Well, we know what Stanford always was, an evil fucker. Rape the earth to the fucking coast. Rape it. The only redwoods standing in San Francisco list is all redwoods. All redwoods up and down. You know where the only redwoods in this entire city are? The only ones. At the Trans-American Pyramid Building. They put a little park right there, and there's some redwoods in there. I was over there yesterday. They raped the redwoods to the sea, Stanford. Berkeley was free when I was a freaking kid there. $40,000-$50,000 a year for a resident. You gotta, it's so outrageous. There's no protest, there's no call. Yeah, Occupy got some stuff going on out there. They have a security fucking system at Stanford and Berkeley that would fucking blow your mind. The military industrialized complex, fucking military police force on Balco. At the universities are totally 100% corporate captured. And it's happened in the last decade, just like here. So we have a weak dollar, we're $1.38 against the euro. We're weak against all currencies. Crushed. It happened before Obama became president. It happened before Bernanke became head of the Fed. Oh, who's head of the Fed now? Oh, Yellen. Oh, Berkeley. A Brooklyn girl from Berkeley. Berkeley is the head of the snake. I'll be out there today. We'll see how that fucking rolls. By myself, I mean, it's pretty fucking, I mean, I almost got arrested twice yesterday. I mean, it's pretty intense. I'm by myself. You know, activism used to be you'd have some radicals hanging with you to watch your back, cover your ass. Not me. I mean, if you see some of the places I go and some of the places I do on this walk in my activism, and you think, oh, well, Kevin, you're just all hot air, and, oh, really? Watch my videos where I've been. Lead the Million Masked Man March. You know how intense that was that fucking day? You know how many people participated? And that was John Anthony Fairhurst, myself, Steve Blanch, who fucking started that. You know how many people fucking participated in that? I think there was 200,000 in London alone. Some of the cities in Scandinavia had hundreds of thousands. There were millions. Any media company? Fuck no. What, 5,000 in fucking right there in D.C.? Intense? Oh, fuck. Snipers with guns, horses, tanks in there. Incredible. I mean, the places I've been, sleep on a fucking park bench next to a Cal Berkeley professor that fucking morning. Because I was staying with Ralph Nader's people in their so-called environmental house, a bunch of dirty, phony fucking hippies who work thinking pathetic fuckers. I learned my lesson. My lesson. I was in the Dorothy Day house in D.C. I went to church with them on Sunday. Yeah, that's Megan Rice's people. After Megan Rice, Harry, I almost got shot. Got a gun fucking pulled on me by a fucking lunatic fucking radical. So-called activist. Who didn't know who his congressman, didn't know who his senator, couldn't tell me the three branches of government. Had no idea the difference between a senator or a congressman. How can you be politically active when you don't know the third grade basic foundation of the political thing? Oh, we don't want any governments. Okay. 320 people of fucking pure anarchy with 70 years of nuclear waste hanging around. The Manhattan Project gone completely amok. That's the Post-Ignorance Project. I've never been so disgusted in my whole life. Spent 3 years of my life hammering away at Fukushima, telling the greatest fucking story told in the last how long? Maybe ever. I told an incredible detail. Been telling you to stay untuned for something. The fish are contaminated, just like I've said the whole time. The plume flew over us and hammered us. Fukushima's ongoing. There's no answer. The fucking Manhattan Project is funding billions of dollars, and you're okay with the service-based, usury-based, no usury law. What's a fucking usury law? San Francisco had usury law, big time. That's the maximum interest rate anybody can charge. 5% above prime was here. Same in Utah, believe it or not. Those fucking Kool-Aid drinking, fairy tale, fucking hairspray, baby raping, fucking Bundy Ranch, fucking Sylvanus radiated fucking beef and Operation Foxcons. Now, did I not say on this show over and over, I'm just going to be sorry for throwing in this guy. I didn't think it happened that quick. It's amazing how the masses and the so-called counterculturalist movement in this country, which is a fraud, counterculturist. I'm a libertarian. Fuck, you're so fucking sheepled, it's fucking unreal. It's like, oh, I'm a counterculturist, I got a tattoo, and 72% people of that generation have a tattoo. I'm a counterculturist because I have a fucking Harley. When everybody's got a fucking Harley. Because, so you're not a counterculturist, you're a culturalist. You're a populist. And you think you're a counterculturist. Thus, the arrogance of the fucking dynamic. Because there's no critical fucking thinking, there's no education, there's no hard work. They took it away. They took it away. Oh, who's they? You took it away. Look in the fucking mirror. The American populace took it away from themselves. I don't give a fuck who I fucking rattle up. I don't care whose chain I rattle and their fucking dogma and their dogma burgers. They don't even have dogma veggie burgers down here no more. Oh no. Beer and coffee. $20 hamburgers. Clothes from fucking, Chinatown, we were out there talking, me and some Chinese. Been here for a long, long time. Had a great conversation yesterday. I says, you really want to see China, walk into an Apple store. And then think about it. Walk into Walmart. Think about it. At least they don't let Walmarts in here. With the Starbucks on every corner. Walgreens on every fucking corner. So I showed him my video. I says, here, look at this. Look this up. In Times Square standing in that cage. I thought that video would get fucking 100,000 views. Think of shit. That's the Tiananmen Square people. They don't let anybody in that cage. When I did my gig at Washington Square, and we walked Alexander Hamilton September 20th, I tried to time that for the sentencing of Megan Rice. Her dad taught right there. That's the Shirtwaist Building, all of that dynamic there. I tried to time it, and the feds come out and delayed her sentencing as they abuse an 85-year-old fucking, our modern day. We have a Nelson Mandela right here in this country, but America don't give a fuck. The Catholic community. Like Megan, her niece said, oh yeah, the Pope will get involved. All these people when pigs fly. Yeah, she was right. I said, look at that video. Somebody took it, the underground media is huge, by the way, in New York. New York Hacks does great work, by the way, that guy. He's amazing. Somebody found it to the young Chinese reporter. She called me. I met her in Times Square. It took her fucking 2 hours to talk them into letting me in. They ain't gonna let some freaking white boy in there. The fuck's this guy know? She showed him some of my work. These were the people that were standing at Tiananmen Square. These are Dr. Wang's people. Dr. Wang's still in prison as they execute 241 women a day over there for body parts in America and put them on fucking, this is CNN who broke this. You look it up. You know, they have these vans and they execute and shoot them in the head, put them in vans, cut the body parts up. Well, the Chinese oligarchs, which by the way, Abu Dhabi is going public here in the United States. That IPO will be the biggest IPO you ever seen. You're getting all these oligarchs going. I was watching Bloomberg yesterday trying to get the scope on the 7-for-1 Apple split. You know, and this guy, I've been in China, and he says, we really do need cheap goods in America. And they're talking about wage inflation in China. 37 cents an hour they're bitching about. These people live in, they're slaves. I mean, look it up. I got an argument with a French kid yesterday. He says, well, you know, you hear all that. I said, look it up. It's public fucking knowledge. It's right in your face. These are facts. This is what these people do. So I stood in the cage. I said, wait a minute. By the way, the best juice I found in the country is right in Times Square, right there. Fucking big, giant fucking things of fucking fresh beet juice, carrot juice, $5. In the carts in fucking Times Square. So I go get me some beet juice. I stand there for a long time. These are the actual Tiananmen Square dissidents, the ones who escaped as, you know, get asylum in the United States. Now we have to get asylum in Russia, Snowden, which, by the way, I think Snowden's a double agent. I think they've got the pussy right. They get to everyone. Fuck, I'm on my own. You know, except Megan Rice. They never got to her. So I drink the blood and I say, hey, you, on your fucking cell phone. You know, every nationality in the world, 53 million tourists in New York City. They'll break that here. How do you like drinking the blood of Chinese children? You don't see Chinese-made Bangladesh, Pakistan exploited labor on my body. You will never see that on my body. Ever. Ever. You know, I equate it to this young whore having sex with this racist fucking NBA owner, who, by the way, you know, by default becomes a fucking billionaire. Same thing. Have sex with people like that? Oh, that's some great karma all over. It's the same way wearing clothing. Wearing clothing, I mean, you take a hot light of a brand new clothing coming out of Walmart, everywhere. It's all the way up to the top now. The highest end designers are doing it. There's blood in the garments. Literally, and you're wearing that. You're dressing your children in that. I mean, the DNA, the karma, the synchronicities, we're connected with every single living organism on this fucking earth. Every organism. From the planet. So they're dumping the shit in the bay here now with the cruise liners and in Santa Barbara. The shit is creating a whole ecosystem. And this shit, these two-legged derivative mammals, the average one's on 6 prescriptions. So think about what's the human waste that's going into the base. Well, there's all kinds of finding. You know, I was down on Pismo Beach and the old-time fishermen who've been there for decades. By the way, the event, Diablo Can was great. Some really great. We had quite a good little crowd of really hardcore, great Blue Hearts on Valentine's that showed up. Really the best of the best. Hardcore, great, dynamic, intelligent. The old fisherman told me, he says, we're seeing all kinds of new little creatures. There's a little teeny fish. They're just, a couple inches long. They got these little sharp teeth. They're all over now. That's what they're doing. They're feeding on that toxic waste, and the other fish are feeding on, and then the big fish eat the little fish like Wall Street. And so they go on and on and on. You're changing the composition of the world. The marine layer rolls in. Oregon State's going to tell you this is low levels. There's no such thing. I hear it all the time. We need low level. Let me tell you something right here, every one of you listening. You have an 80% probability of getting cancer. 80%. And you think, oh, cancer, no, I'll get some easy cancer. I'll take this pill. I'll do this. I'll smoke some weed. Oh, no. Cancer, not only one, is so brutal physically, mentally. It's painful. It's horrible. It's aggressive. It's a killer from hell. But here's another piece of it that most don't understand. It is financially devastating. It will annihilate you. Wipe you out to the fucking penny. That's the way the system works. In order to get any care, I had money. I had one on my YouTube site, and that's what blows my mind. On my YouTube site, I told you to sell gold the day, to the day. There's a YouTube video, to the day it peaked at 19. Who can do that, Cassandra? To the day. Not only did I not tell you to sell your gold to the day, there's some assholes that I'm friends with that here, I'm like, sell that fucking gold, sell that gold. Well, why don't I buy Tesla? It was $15. So you sold your gold at 19, you bought Tesla, it's over 200. I made a couple people multi-millionaires down here right on my YouTube. Did they give me a dime of it? No, because that's what people are. They suck their fucking life and energy out of it and they take it for their own. That comment is so horrible on it, it will never get you anywhere. So have that. It's pretty amazing to me. I had just, I've been up and down, went through some horrible stuff. Had to sell my big, gray, incredible, beautiful, award-winning artistic house that I spent 7 years building with my own hands. That big, beautiful, white, red, and green, incredible fucking thing. Arch walls. I'm a laughing plastic guy. Last of the Mokeens. I'm the last of the Mokeens. I'm a laughing plastic guy. People will say, "Oh, there's none of them guys left." Oh yeah, there's me. Someday I hope to go back to my Harkin trial, my true love. The scars up and down my body from the sand. I'm in bed with nature on the landscape at its core, but I am with humans too. As George Carlin said, will the earth shake these humans and their poison off like a flea? Yep. There's no doubt in my mind. Carlin was a genius. He got it. But the two-legged, beer-legged mammals, I'm sick and tired of watching my loved ones and my friends, and I'm sick and tired of watching people die from cancer, and I've watched it so many times now. I watched my father die and loaded in the body bag, murdered by Berkeley, murdered by Teller, marched in the desert, wrapped yourself up in a flag. Not me. I've watched so many people on the outside of it. You would believe what I've gone through as far as watching that. It's beyond heartbreaking. Lifelong best friends, Kevin and Carla, they used to call us, watching Carla go. These are beautiful, healthy, incredible, dynamic people being mowed down and killed. In their 20s, in their 30s. By the thousands, many thousands. So every time you think that Kevin Blanch's activism is meaningless, I want you to think of two things. One, regressive nominal wages in this country, 17 trillion in debt, 17 trillion and reading. Oh, there's an answer, tariffs. But there's no political will because Operation Foxconn has corrupted. When you get enough rush hours at 5 in the morning, when it used to be at 9, two people working 65 hours to have the same equivalent lifestyle that your parents had, one working 40. And you don't even have the equivalent. You have much less. Daycare is raising your children. Oh, I got a nanny. Oh, really? Missing out on all those beautiful times with your children. Missing out on all those beautiful times with your grandchildren. That's what counts. Quit your fucking shitty-ass fucking job. Find a little part-time fucking job. Get rid of your shit. Sell your boat. Sell your fucking thing. Fuck, if you're buried on your house, let these fuckers have it. Say, fuck, find you a fucking place in America where rent's cheap and find you a part-time fucking job and spend time with your kids, spend time with your grandkids. Find a way. You don't need to have, don't you love it? Cars are still 40 grand. If the fucking dollar crashes and thrashes out, they should have went down. As, Tesla's tried to break the dynamic of the co-op of the auto industry. Oh, you have to buy one from a dealer. Fuck, you know how much that dealer makes off every car they sell? Fuck, what a scam that is. Tesla's tried to break that. Elon from Tesla lost his mind as it was government fucking money. Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic. He's completely fucking, he'll do something crazy. Mark my words. He'll do something lunatic and he'll fuck up fucking Tesla. Mark my words, because I've listened to his statements and he's lost his ever-loving mind. He's an elitist now. He's like Redford, where we were. Oh, he came in the 1980s. He's an environmentalist. Like, that fucker wasn't alive, right? And have you ever seen him up personally? Any girl that's ever slept with that guy? There you go, back. Oh my God, he's creepy, he's crawly, and fucking sickening as he gets. Now he makes all kinds of elitist statements. All like, I'd like to drop him like a bag of dirt. He's on my list too. I want to fight. Fucking Nugent, all these fucking co-op fucking whores. But it's pretty amazing to me. One, the dollar thrash, you're working for longer for less, but you're okay with that. All Kevin's activism doesn't matter. Social inequality, his ranting about tariffs, ranting about user laws, antitrust laws enforcement. As Microsoft Windows 2013, just keep using it. It's a piece of shit. Keep using it. The other equation, nuclearism. Keep thinking about nuclearism. I want you to think about nuclearism. Just keep thinking about it. I'm going to head out to Berkeley today. Just getting ready to land. I'm going to try to get on the Google bus, too. I can cram a lot in one day. You'd be amazed at me. My videos do not justice for my activism. You know, people can't hang with me. They try. The cancer epidemic. I want you to think about the cancer epidemic and think about, and they say, this CDC, the liars themselves, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Low-level radiation is good for you. Yeah, Ann Coulter, that dude. Anybody says that's a stupid motherfucker. Really stupid. It's bioaccumulative. Every little bit matters, and this isn't a little bit. San Francisco got fucking hammered. Right from the horse's mouth. The oncology cancer has spiked all over this area. People say, oh, we want to see your data, we want to see... What the fuck am I? Do I need to come over and mow your fucking lawn for you, too? I'm one man with no money fighting my ass off. I forked over $700,000 to get in the fucking bone marrow that I turned in from $5,000 right on the YouTube site. And I told you every detail of how I did it. You watch it. Nobody produced it. Short silver at 47. Get out of gold on the triple leverage down at 1900. Buy Tesla at 15. Buy the Apple derivative at $30. Who ended up being worth 12,000. Right there in your fucking face. Yeah, my money saved me? Probably. You know, I forked it over. Wiped me out. I'm happy to be alive. I'm very happy. I'm very joyful. I got a smile on my face. And they can't take, in San Francisco, they can't take the landscape as far as the water. I can still look out across the ocean. The trees are gone. The redwoods are gone. They wiped it all out. The Stanford thesis is back on Balco. Coming down to the end of the show, I believe. Hang in there. I'll keep doing what I do. Are you going to keep doing what you do? I don't know. But to participate in this, to tell the truth is to die. To steal, rob, and thief is to be an oligarch god. But Operation Foxconn and the dogma just feeds into the dynamic. Nobody can step back and view from the broader perspective like Malay. Nobody can do it. I can. And I will. And I'll continue my post-ignorance thesis, and it doesn't really matter who participates. It doesn't matter because it's given me life. It's breathed life into my cells so that the cancer could not take me. Pushed it out of my bone marrow into some tumors around my lower bowel and allowed doctors to extract it and allowed me not to fucking come back. The sunshine on my body, oh yeah. The carrot juice in my body, oh yeah, I find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll keep searching. In the meantime, stay in tuned. Are we still on? Are we done?
1 more minute.
Okay, 1 more minute. Hang in there, you guys. Keep fighting for not what you want the truth to be, what you guys are. I love all you guys. You can mean everything. I love people. People come across and I'm very passionate. I'm a very intense, peace person. I really love humans. If you haven't got that by now, I'm not just about the environment. I'm a human. I really love people. Yeah, even as fucked up as they are, I love to communicate. I love to be with them. I love to have a beer with them. I love all these things. I'm a very social creature. All of us are. So, fight back. Don't give up. You know, headed to Berkeley right now. So, and then I'll be on the Google buses. We'll see how that goes. I mean, from what I understand, this is going to be a tough gig today. But I live to tell.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical.